Hello, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to my final episode of the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky Let's Play. We last left off facing off against Colonel Richard and the River Guardian robot, and finally thrashing them and beating them soundly. And now with that all resolved, we are now looking at 1 week later of the events that occurred underground. As you can see, it's been a pretty long journey, but we finally made it to the 60th anniversary of the Queen's birthday. And everyone is joyously celebrating. So let's go ahead and enjoy the festivities of this wonderful story. Estelle and Joshua Bright, in honor of your recent work, the Gransel branch of the Bracer Guild has prepared you a letter of recommendation. Take it with our blessing. Yes, sir. And there it is, our Junior Bracer First Class. As are still our current rank, but that is pretty high you can get in this game. With this, you now have 5 such letters, I believe. Sir Cassius, if you will do the honors. I will. Estelle and Joshua Bright, in accordance with the rules of the guild, this will qualify you both to become full-fledged bracers. Present your letters of recommendation. Yes, sir. By all means, please verify their authenticity. There are Roland, Boyes, Ruin, Zeus, and Gransel branches. I have now confirmed the authenticity of all 5 signatures. The final rank, Junior Bracer, rank 1. I've never thought you'd come so far. Honestly, it's a little frightening. In Adios' name and by the seal of the Bracer Guild, both of you are promoted to full-fledged bracers. Take your emblems, you two. Yes, sir. Congratulations, guys. Hey, those emblems look good on you. I have to admit, you two did good, but just this once. Thanks, everyone. We would never have reached this point without everyone's help. Your true careers as bracers start now. Bear that in mind. I understand. We'll be even more dedicated. Now, I hate to break up such a happy occasion, but I'm afraid I do have some unfortunate news that I must tell all of you. What's that? Today marks the final day of Cassius Bright's membership with the Bracer Guild. He is going to be returning to active duty within the Royal Army. What? Really? Since I've been away for so long, I feel bad bringing this up so suddenly. But the chaos that has resulted from the attempted coup must be quelled. The military needs major reorganization to deal with the damage that the intelligence division caused. I plan to help out with that. Oh, I get it, since bracers can't be soldiers. Hey, did you higher ranks already know about this? Yes, he already discussed it with us. It is discouraging, but we can never truly become independent if we always lean on those more experienced. And hey, think of it as less competition. Now that Cassius is out, maybe you can take the top spot. Eventually. I suppose that's true. This means that we're going to be really busy, though. Well, you do have 2 new full-fledged bracers on hand now. You can work them like dogs instead of me. Dad. I guess our lives are about to get pretty hectic, eh? Geez, Dad. Can't you at least stay with us until the end of the birthday celebration? I'm sorry, but there's a war council starting immediately. Colonel Richard may be in custody, but there are plenty of his special ops cohorts still at large. Captain Amethea is also hiding somewhere in the underground ruins. And if that weren't enough, it looks like those sky bandits ran off in all the confusion. We have to stay on guard so they don't cause any trouble during the festival. Those guys are just a constant pain in the ass. Either way, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The increased security is just for peace of mind. The real issue is that we really don't know the significance of what happened underground. We can only guess at what effect breaking that seal will have, and what the purpose of that Arulo is. That's a puzzle that absolutely must be solved. Yeah, I guess you're right. And it doesn't sound like Colonel Richard's memory can be trusted. Yes, just like Kurt, he seems to have some missing memories. Even so, the search team was able to confirm one thing. We now know where the black orbment came from. Really? You know who made it? Not quite, but we do know who's responsible for introducing it to the Intelligence Division. Commander of the Special Ops, Second Lieutenant Lawrence Belgar. Him? He gave it to Richard shortly after he was recruited for the Intelligence Division. And coincidentally, that would be just about the same time Richard planned his coup. We need to find out everything about Lawrence that we can. Huh. He always did seem strange. I guess we were lucky that we actually got a good look at his face, huh? If you want, I can try drawing you a picture of him. That would be appreciated. I have to admit, though, that I don't have the utmost faith in your artistic skills. Maybe I should ask Scheherazade, or Her Majesty. That's not nice. Estelle, you actually saw Lawrence's face? What, I didn't tell you? He took his helmet off when we fought him on the terrace in the Royal Keep. He looked around 20, maybe older, with ash blonde hair. He had some seriously creepy eyes too, let me tell you. They were so cold, but it was like they were on fire at the same time. He told the Queen, "You are hardly qualified to feel pity for me." Hardly qualified. Joshua? Your eyes are looking a little creepy now too, Joshua. Something on your mind? How about you let us handle the cleanup here and go have fun at the festival? Okay, you're right. Awesome! Let's go live it up! Oh right, are we going to be sleeping at the castle tonight? Yes, Her Majesty was kind enough to let me use 2 of the guest rooms in the eastern wing. Joshua and I will be on the right, you and Shahara on the left. Me and Shahara together? You don't like that setup? Okay, how about me and you in one room, Joshua and Shahara in the other? Just imagine, all that time for you to fawn over me and wait on me, and tell me how much you missed me. I'll bunk with Shahara. Hahaha, I suspected as much. Alright then, I'll see you kids tonight. You know, it wouldn't be a big deal for you to share a room with him. I mean, it has been a long time since you last saw him. Didn't you have a lot of stuff about your mom that you wanted to talk to him about? Yeah, but I don't much like the idea of you and Shahara in the same room either. Huh? Nothing. Let's go and look around. The town's decked out with some pretty cool festival-exclusive shops, you know. Well, we certainly can't let those pass us by, now can we? And if we get tired, there's an rest area in the east block. Behind the stores, right? We should make that our last stop then. Alright, so pretty much you can look around the shops, you can try to find any of the friends and cohorts or buddies you've made along the way. You could try to talk to some of them. Like, here's a visitor here who looks very familiar, but I don't think that is the one we've helped out along our journey here. Let's see, we have some more tourists here. If we check out Hotel Rosenbaum, you see all the students and Chloe here as well, who snuck out. And how her student friends came to see her. As well as the professor, or the dean, of the school is also here as well. Of course, I'll always imagine him as Professor Dumbledore. Actually, I would have to check when the books came out and when this game came out, because I'm wondering if this is drawing any parallels or not, or if they got inspiration from the books or not. But pretty much you can go around, look at the different sites, see kind of how things look a little bit differently, talk to all the different NPCs around. Shop-wise, there really isn't anything new to check out. It's mostly just checking out with all the other friends and buddies you've made along the way. Like, here's this guy again, but he's just another tourist. You'll probably see him a few times here and there. And there is at least a cutscene over here. Here we go. Wow, look at the size of this crowd. It's because it's so warm out today. Anyone selling ice cream is sure to make a ton of mira. You know, looking at all this kind of makes me want to eat everything they've got. Which reminds me, I made you a promise. What promise? When we were dressed up as maids in the castle, you were acting all sulky and pouty. And I said I'd buy you some ice cream. Why do you remember the most trivial things? And as I recall, I also made you a promise in that rest area. Oh, yeah, I guess you did. Why don't we wait for the day to settle down a little bit first? Anyway, we can walk around some more, then go to the rest area behind those stores. And then I'll buy you some ice cream. Okay? Okay. So, but there is actually one last thing we can do. That you might want to do before you try to go to the behind the store's rest area, because that is their last stop. And that is to fill... Okay, so it looks like I have something I need to check up on first. But there is actually one last request you can do. If you want to complete every single bracer request that the guild ever gives you in the game. There's just one last one to do. This one is actually fairly simple. All you have to do is find Oliver. And Oliver, mind you, our old dear friend with the gun and part of the Ebronian Empire, is actually holed up here in Grancel Cashel's bar. So, all you have to do is talk to him here. You have some conversations back and forth, kind of talking about the party and how he's celebrating their promotion and all that. So nothing too major or anything, just some fun conversation you can have with him. But after you speak with him, you need to go back to the guild, as I'm currently doing here now. Sorry for the stuttering there. It's always difficult finding the right words sometimes. But yeah, so go back to the guild after you meet up with Oliver at the bar. And there, you should see the embassy mission, the last one you have to do. You pretty much can't hold off on this one, you have to do this right away. But all we have to do is go over back to him again and speak with him. And he'll pretty much come with us to the guild, and his chaperone will meet us there. And after that, you should earn an achievement if you've been following along for getting all the guild requests. I keep going that way. As well as another achievement for getting this last minute, quest in after all the hullabaloo and troubles you've already gone through. Estelle, Joshua! It is the birthday celebration. What a waste it would be if we were not to enjoy it, no? Hey, Joshua, I think he's the guy. Without question. I have it! Why don't you join me in a little afternoon delight? Just you and I. Doesn't that sound divine? Come now, do say yes. Funny you asked. We were just talking to this guy who asked us the same thing, and we said we have this friend whom you would probably just love to talk to. Do you really now? Honest to goodness? Absolutely. Would you like us to introduce him to you? I would most love that. Please, lead the way. Why are we back at the Bracer Guild? Oh, don't get your neckerchief in a knot. Elnon's calling over our guest, you see. Yes, yes. The interested party has been successfully contacted, and should be arriving here shortly. I imagine she simply can't bear waiting for the opportunity to meet me. Tell me, have I made this kitten's acquaintance before, or is this to be our first meowing? Oh, I believe the kitten knows you and really wants to see you. Kittens in Grancel. Perhaps it's Jahara, or perhaps even Carnia or Annalise. No, I must not discount the possibility that it might be Mayor Maybell, or maybe even her dear sweet Lila. Surely it's not Princess Claudia or Tita. That's, well, let's just say that you've got one hell of an imagination. Ah, it seems that our guest is already here. Is she now? My dearest, come in, come in. With that kind of welcome, who am I to refuse? What? Looks like you've done what I've asked then. I appreciate it. On behalf of the Irbronian Embassy, I thank you. That's not necessary. It was Oliver who was really eager to oblige you. I don't remember being present at that discussion. But does that mean that you're the kitten who wished to see me? What are you smoking? Her Royal Majesty the Queen directly invited you to tonight's banquet, so I'm not about to tell you you can't go. But I know you, and I know you're going to get into trouble if you're not properly chaperoned. So I'm keeping a close eye on you until dinner time, and you're going to like it. Estelle! Joshua! You tricked me! Oh, don't blame your bad hearing on us. You were the one who decided it was a woman. We never said a word. Now then, evening swiftly approaches. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out, and you're going to do it. So let's get back to the embassy, shall we? Oh no! Well, case closed, I guess. Since that concludes your investigation, allow me to give you your rightful reward. Your proper Bracer notebooks are not yet ready, so I'd like for you to note this in your junior one. I feel a little guilty about this request, but okay. Now, why don't we get back to the birthday celebration? Sounds good. And once we've checked everything out, we can go to the rest area in the eastern block. But that's pretty much the last request you will have to do in this game. Until the sequel, of course, but... that's another Let's Play altogether. So, for the most part, there's really not much more to do. You can check out the shops, you can visit your buddies all around the city, if you can find them. But I figured I would go ahead and kind of let the story move on and progress, because there is a little bit more to learn, as we'll find out shortly here. Okay, we finally made it to the rest area. You sure you don't want to look around more, or are you finally ready to take a break? Well, let's go ahead and rest a bit. Phew, walking all over the place like that can really take it out of you. Glad we could get off our feet for a minute then. For the moment, at least, Granchel seems like it's genuinely at peace. You really think so? I'm just glad that we can leave it all up to Dad and everyone else, at least for today. Of course, I really think it should be his responsibility to begin with, since he showed up so late. Haha, yeah, I suppose so. Maybe it's just part of his nature. Oh well, it's not like we can do anything about it. But check us out, we're actually full bracers now. Which means we're not beholden to any specific branch and can go wherever we want. Anytime a branch is short-handed and requests help, we'll just take an airliner to get there. But our newfound freedom will also mean greater responsibilities. Sure, but I think we'll be able to handle it. I mean, hey, we actually played a major part in stopping a coup. And it means I'll never have to hear Dad going on about how it worries him when you're not around to keep an eye on me. Yeah, I think his days of saying that are at an end. You really showed him what you can do. Still, I think I'd like to stay with you from now on. Huh? Oh, would I just get on your nerves? No, nothing like that. But what do you mean by stay with me? Just that we know each other so well and we can practically read each other's minds. I think we would make a good team, and I would hate to break it up. Oh, you mean like for bracer business? And here I was thinking you were going to tell me your big confession or something. What? Ah! Nothing. Forget I said anything. Estelle, what was that all? Boy, it sure is hot out today, huh? And there's nothing to beat hot weather like ice cream, huh? My treat, just like I promised, so you wait right here. Oh. I don't think there's an ice cream stand over that way. I wonder if she... Nah, there's no way. My, but I do envy you your youth sometimes. Professor Alba? It's been a long time since we last met, hasn't it? So much has happened lately, but things are finally settling down again. People truly thrive the most in peaceful times. Oh, is something the matter? You look a bit pale. I would have thought you'd generally be in better spirits now that you've attained senior bracer status. Speaking of which, I truly must congratulate you on your success. So long as, of course, I'm not being too forward in doing so. Ever since we first met, you always made me really uncomfortable. I'm a little more used to you now, but I still get the shakes a little bit whenever you look at me. Oh? And in all the cases we've dealt with, there have been people who just forget things. You've always there, investigating, no matter where we've gone. Your timing almost a little too good. What really clued me in was Kurt's reaction. He lost his memories too. He said he wasn't feeling so well when he was in the stands. And you were right there with him. Professor Alba, was it you? Impressive. Even with your cognizance and recollection being puppeteered, you were still able to piece it all together. Indeed, it was I. Allow me to clear away your confusion. Oh. You're... So you're finally remembering me, do you? When your heart was in tatters, it was I who rebuilt it. I who restored it. It was I who poured a soul back into that empty vessel. You have the power to twist the minds and memories of men. The Seven Snake Apostles, the Anguish, you're one of them. Wisman the Faceless. Ha! I've not heard that name pass your lips in ages. Enforcer number 13. The Black Fang, Joshua Estray. You were behind all of this, which means that Lieutenant Lawrence has to be... It is as you surmise. I was kind enough not to erase your memories of him. I'm not surprised you were able to make the connection so quickly. I'm sure he'll be pleased to know you were thinking of him. So, you were here to finish me off? No, nothing of the sort. The first phase of our plan went off without a hitch. Since I've a moment to spare, I simply thought I would come to see you. First phase? The seal in the old ruins. the gate which blocks the path to the ring. Wrenching it open was but the first step of many. And already there exists no means of closing it again. I knew this wouldn't be the end of it. What in the hell is the Shining Ring? And what is your little society after? If you really wish to know, why don't you rejoin? I'm certain that you'll be able to return to active duty in no time. You needn't look so glum. We can get you back into fighting form. Please, spare me your withering looks. I do understand that you have a family now, whom you regard as important. You greatly admire your father, to say nothing of the girl you so adore. Even with him on our side, throwing those gifts away would be the actions of an idiot. And so, I've come here to see you. I came to offer you true freedom from our association, as thanks for the integral role you played perfectly. Which means that I must congratulate you, Joshua. You are already a free man. I am most grateful for the work that you've done over the past 5 years. What? Oh, don't be so boring. I was expecting a bit more cheer out of you at hearing such news. Perhaps there's a flaw in the design of your emotions. I've been helping you? What kind of bullshit are you expecting me to swallow? Oh, pardon me, I completely forgot to tell you. I never intended you to be an assassin, but rather a spy. What? The society abandoned you. We played on the pities of a noble-hearted man, and it worked. You were given a loving home. And while you were there, our contacts would check in on you from time to time, and you'll tell them everything. We were particularly interested in your reports on the movements of the Bracer Guild, as well as your intel on one Cassius Bright. But, of course, you wouldn't remember having done such things as that. You were not yourself at the time. Cassius Bright, S-ranked Bracer. He was the foremost impediment to the success of this plan. We felt certain he would be quick to act in order to stop any coup d'etat that should occur. But thoroughly a detailed analysis of his behavioral patterns, we devised a plan that would lead him out of the country and out of our way. The intel you unknowingly been feeding us has been most useful indeed. No. And so, I must thank you again. The past 5 years have been an inestimable help. No, you're lying. You have to be lying! All that time I spent with Estelle. Why are you so sad? Have your feigned ignorance not earned you a beloved family as well as a happy home? If you say nothing, they will never know. However, it is the sort of thing that might weigh heavily on a fellow. Since your fellow members of the Bright household are such good people. Perhaps a little too good for a monster such as yourself. However much you may model your behavior after a normal, decent person, you are no such thing. You must surely have noticed your ability to reason through and execute a solution to a problem, no matter the circumstances. Your physical strength and reflexes better than an entire squadron of normal soldiers. You are my greatest creation, my human weapon. That is who and what you truly are, the Black Fang. You have no place in the lives of normal people. You'll never be happy in their presence again. You can't be. When it becomes too much for you, you are always welcome to return to the Grand Master's Society of Souls. Back to Ouroboros. Ouroboros is how you pronounce it, sorry. Is this my punishment? Is my sister and Lowell? What do I do? I don't know how to face him after all that, but I've kept him waiting for way too long. It's getting late, too. I'm such an idiot. I need to learn to think before I open my mouth. I wonder if Joshua figured me out. Gotta cool down. I feel like I'm stuck in perma-blush mode. Ah, Estelle! I thought I might find you around here somewhere. Hi, Professor Alba. Fancy seeing you here. Haha, indeed. I was actually just speaking with Joshua. Congratulations on your promotion to senior bracer status. Thanks. Is something wrong? I don't know. Something just seems different about you. What's got you looking so cheerful? Okay, you've got me. To tell the truth, I've made several major advancements in my archaeological research. You might say that it's put me in a good mood. Hey, that's awesome! Oh, sorry. The ice cream's going to melt, so I better get going. I'll see you later. I see. Cassius Bright's daughter. I think she's going to be quite a lot of fun. Hey, sorry it took me so long. It was super crowded there, but I have returned with our valuable loot. Cool, thanks. Now, we can eat like kings. Yeah. So, about earlier. Yeah, I wanted to apologize for that. I didn't mean to be so vague. It just wasn't an appropriate time for confessions, you know? Oh, sure. I didn't really mind so much. Well, when I gave it some more thought, it seemed kind of silly to try and rush things. We may be senior bracers now, but that just means that we have different work to focus on. We might really have to really consider our future prospects. Right. If we get married, we'll have to think about raising children. Ah, I gotta stop getting so far ahead of myself. Well, it's evening already, so why don't we eat our ice cream on the way back? Everyone's probably waiting for us. Hey, Joshua. What is it? Do you have something you want to discuss about the future? No, what would give you that idea? Come on, let's get back to the castle. What's wrong, Estelle? You've been completely on edge for a while now. Something on your mind? Yeah. Hey, Chihara, do you think Joshua is acting weird at dinner? If anyone was acting weird, I'd say it was you. He was as calm as he ever is. Well, yeah, but... Aha! I see. I get it now. Get what? You can't keep secrets from me. I had a feeling about it, but I was wondering if you'd ever admit it to yourself. You're kind of falling for Joshua, aren't you? You can tell? It's pretty obvious. Sorry, hon. But I'm guessing you haven't told him anything about this. No. Joshua's always picking on me, telling me what a dope I am. Not that I should be criticizing anyone, I guess. You're so naive. It's a wonder how you've lasted this long. You need to learn to look a little deeper. Big Sister is ready to begin your education in love, Estelle. I've never asking you for advice again. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't mean to tease. But you guys set out just when puberty was about to hit. It's only logical that you would start picking up on feelings for each other. Oh, you think so? Traveling together just seemed like such a petty reason for that kind of thing. I guess I've gotten a little more self-aware since we started all this. Ah, this isn't like me at all. You're the proverbial flower that refuses to blossom. Every girl feels that way. Shahara? I don't want to lecture you, or talk about this with you if you're not ready. But if you are, then what say we ourselves have some girl talk, hmm? Would it help if I told your fortune? Yeah, okay. I promise I'll listen to whatever you have to say. Okay. Alright, time for your lesson, my protege. Oh, Estelle, big sister is moved to tears. On second thought, never mind. But thank you, I do feel a little better. I'm gonna go see Joshua for a little bit. Oh, you're going to tell him? Not about that. There really does seem to be something weird going on with him. I want to see what that's about first. Ah. Well, you do seem to know him better than anyone else. I'm sure that everything will turn out just fine between you two. Maybe you can even just have a nice calm discussion with him and be open about what's on your mind. I don't think I'm quite that ready yet. Okay, I'll see you later. Young love. Ah, they'll probably be fine. Huh? They're not here. Oh yeah, Dad's still in some meeting, I think. But where's Joshua? Joshua? Oh, he's out playing somewhere then. And this is pretty much where you kind of have to find him now. It shouldn't be that hard. I think he's outside somewhere. Yeah, probably upstairs, so I need to go the other route. Yep. So, you can either try to find him right away, or just continue listening to the nice harmonica music here. It's up to you. Hey, Estelle. Nice night, isn't it? Yeah. There's that song again. The Whereabouts of Light? I've lost a lot. But this song and this harmonica have always been with me. I've been thinking about why I play it. Maybe it's a habit I should quit. I think I want to tell you what I was doing before I met you. Joshua? Okay. This may take a while. Do you mind? Not at all. I'll listen to whatever you have to say. Thank you. Once upon a time, there lived a little boy all by himself. He was the timid sort, relying on the kindness of others without a single redeeming trait. But he had people he cared about with him, so he was happy. But one day, something happened that broke his heart. He forgot how to speak, to feel, even to eat. All he could do was play his harmonica. No matter how hard his caretaker tried, nothing helped his heart to mend, and he grew weaker by the day. One day, a wandering magician appeared before the boy. "I will heal the boy's heart for you," he said. "Provided, of course, I am compensated." And so, the boy was given over into the magician's care. As he attempted to piece the broken heart back together, the magician found that he could shape the boy's existence into anything he wished. And so, the boy's new heart became that of a murderer. For 2 years, the boy killed every single day. Under cover of night, he murdered dozens of soldiers. He slit the throats of a national cabinet minister who was under heavily armed guard. Sometimes he used explosives which maimed and killed innocent bystanders. At some point, he became regarded as something more than a mere killer. He was known as the Black Fang, and the name struck fear into the hearts of men. One day, the magician gave the boy an assassination order. His target was a hero, a man who had protected his queen and nation from the threat of an invading northern country. He was a bracer who held a special rank shared only by 3 others in the entire land. But the target was too strong. He defeated the boy with all the ease of a tiger swatting at a playful cub. At that moment, some of the magician's servants showed up. Since the boy's face had been seen, he was now a loose end to be tied up. But someone came to his aid and drove the attackers away. I was, of course, the man he had come to kill. And so the boy was taken to the man's house, where he met a young girl. He lived there for 5 years, always feeling like he was lost in some wonderful dream. In the real world, he would never be allowed to have such dreams. But all dreams must end at some point. The time was drawing near when reality could be avoided no longer. And that's the end of my story. Thank you for being patient with me and listening. Was all that real? Every syllable. My heart is broken. My hands will always be stained with blood. I failed in the assassination of your father. I've been betraying you for a long time. The boy can't be saved from his real purpose. His presence alone seems to bring disaster and misery. He's just tainted. But the boy set out on a journey, in hopes that he may keep his misfortunes from the ones he holds dear. He will find and stop the foul magician who created the life he has led. What? That's the last remnant of my human heart. I won't be needing it anymore. But I want you to take it. It's hardly an adequate way to thank you for the last 5 years. Yet, I can't think of anything better. Stop it. What? I said stop it! Stop talking about it like it's a dream. You make it sound like nothing that's happened was ever even real to you. What difference does the past make? Your heart is broken? What does that even mean? Estelle. Look at me. Look into my eyes. They've always seen that boy. In good times and bad. No matter how much the boy was hurting, I always saw how hard he kept holding on. Joshua, I love you. You can't just leave me on my own. My feelings won't just go away when you do. I won't let you. Estelle? Huh? Oh. Yeah, this is a more personal moment than I'd rather comment on right now, but... What was that? It's so bitter. It's just a fast-acting sedative. Don't worry, there are no side effects. Oh. Why? Why did you... My Estelle, you shine like the sun. My time with you was the happiest and the most painful I've ever known. Just as the brightest light casts the darkest shadow. If you stayed with me, you'd find out just how disgusting my true nature is. Sometimes I think it would have been better if we'd never met. No. but this time is different. I'm grateful that you came to see me. I hate that I have to run from a girl who's so important to me, but it's all I can do. But I want you to know that I'll always be thinking of you. Joshua! Joshua! Thank you for everything. You've had me... You had me from the first moment I met you. I've always loved you. Goodbye, Estelle. There you have it, folks. So, that is the complete playthrough of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, Chapter 1. Or I guess Part 1 you can call it. There is 2 more games after this one. And this would be, I believe, the second time I've ever played through this and beat it. So, I hope you've enjoyed my playthrough of the game. I most certainly did. It was nice to revisit this game again after almost now 7 years, and kind of discovering all the story behind this is really, really great. And I was surprised I was able to stand being left on a cliffhanger like this, not finding out kind of what would happen next. So, you know, and they did a fantastic job with the localization for this. I think all the dialogue for it was just great, very impactful, very emotional. I did my best trying to voice all the lines. I couldn't really try to do voices that I felt were adequate sometimes, but I tried to do my best to put myself into the character with their tone and just the situation and what was going on. So, you know, it would be nice if one day they could give the series voice actors, which I think they do in the Cold Steel series, which I will get around to eventually, but as you can see, these games are really, really long. But we kind of got the basic credits, so we do have a little bit more to go before they officially finish things, so let's go ahead and see what happens now. Or maybe that was the end. I thought there was a bit more afterwards. Yeah, Trails in the Sky first chapter was kind of how it kind of went. And now you can save your data, and apparently you can load it from the title screen to begin a second playthrough with various things carried over. I think you get to keep most of your ornaments as well as your as well as plenty of other stuff. But thank you for joining me on this grand adventure, and I hope you look forward to my next Let's Play when I finally get it out. I do plan on doing the second game at some point, but I don't think it'll be my next one, since doing RPGs like this, especially as long as this one has taken me to do, are definitely quite time consuming. And I could use a slight diversion. So I hope you'll keep an eye out. And until next time, have fun gaming.